Okay, massive welcome everyone to our Team Bosco training tonight. I am super pumped to kind of share some really good golden nuggets with you guys. I was fortunate enough, I'm part of Abbi Hoareau's GoPro Academy, and there is so much value that I get each month from this group. And the one that I hopped on last week was a 2-hour training with Fraser Brooks that he did. And if anyone is not following Fraser Brooks, he is definitely a person to follow. He's amazing. And it was a mind-blown 2-hour training. And I just needed to share it because I was like, this is too much gold here to not share. So tonight it was actually really, and it's quite simple, but so important. And I realized actually, because I did a bit of stalking amongst the team and just to see if it was a necessary training, and I realized just overwhelmingly that it's definitely a necessary training because it's all on how we show up, especially on Facebook, on your social media. And how to basically give it a good facelift so that we look good out there on Facebook. So I'm going to go through some steps. I'm going to write it up here. There's 8 steps that we're going to go through where you can basically clean up different areas on your Facebook, on your profile. And then these 2 beautiful ladies, I know a few of you actually did volunteer to actually go through your own Facebook. So I know I couldn't do everyone, but I just picked up 2 that we're just going to showcase tonight. But I wanted to do that because it will give you an idea as well to go back to your own and make some changes and some tweaks as well. So if you didn't, I'll say this now at the beginning, obviously I couldn't pick everyone, but if you would like feedback, so after we've done this training and you'd like to have some feedback on your own profile and to tweak it, what I'd love you to do is once you've worked on it, is post it in your team pages. Actually post a screenshot of your profile picture and ask for feedback, just to say, you know, what do you think? Do you think mine looks good? Or there's a couple of profile pictures, which one do you think's better? Ask the team, ask your peers, because they're going to be the ones, and especially your uplines in your team, that can give you the best support and advice. So that's one thing I would definitely do once we finish the training over the next few days. Okay, so before I get into the points, one thing I just want to stress to everyone is social media is just a part of the process. Okay, we are a business that predominantly is an online business, right? But what I want to really stress to everyone is that we can't rely just on social media. Social media is such a great avenue, but it's only one part to the puzzle. It's only one piece. So one of the great things about social media is the fact that we can find prospects. Okay, we can get a lot of interaction with people on Facebook, and that is so important, especially in our business. As a network marketer, being on social media, having an online business, really we need to treat this as a business on social media, okay, first and foremost. So the fundamentals of our business actually becomes more of a face-to-face kind of thing. So once we get those leads on social media, it's really important that that's just one part, and then we need to learn how to have those conversations, how to have that face-to-face, how to have those one-on-one conversations. So I just really wanted to stress that. So what we want to look at with social media and our profile is that this is our image and this is your brand. Regardless if you have a brand, you are your brand, okay, on social media. So the reason why it becomes so important then to make sure it looks good is because people get attracted to you. And we want to showcase you as the brand. Now, you might have a brand that you use, but tonight I really want to specify that, of course, you can use your brand, but for those that don't, you need to show up as your authentic self in a really good way on social media. So I'm going to give you some tips on how we're going to do that. So I'm going to write it up here. So the first thing we're going to do is our personal profile. Okay. And target market. Okay, so the first point is talking about your personal profile and your target market. Now, one thing I want to really stress to you guys is with your social media, with your profile, if you don't know who your target market is that you want to attract on your social media, that actually is the foundation for your profile. Okay, so having an understanding of who's your tribe, who are the people that you want to actually connect with on social media, actually is the first and foremost thing that you need to be aware of and need to find out who those people are. So one thing that is a good little exercise is draw a little line on your piece of paper, and on the left side is write who you are. Okay, so who are you? Are you a mum? Are you married? Do you have children? What's your age? What's your sex? Where do you live? Just the basics about you. Who are you? Okay, so that's on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side, I want you to think about what are your interests and passions. So what are the things that you love doing? Do you love exercising? Do you love eating healthy? Do you love to go out with friends and have wine? Do you love to have coffee? Do you like helping people? What are things that actually light you up? What are your passions? What are your interests? Okay, so you don't have to do all of that now, but just maybe write that kind of stuff down so that you can go back and put some points there. Now, why that's really important is, first of all, identifying who you are, because at the end of the day, I can tell you now, your tribe or the people you're going to attract are probably exactly like you. Okay, they're exactly like you. That's who normally we attract into the business. One of the other things that we need to make sure of is that, what do we love? What do we actually enjoy doing? What are our interests and passions? Because it is, again, very likely that we're going to get drawn, people will draw into us when we show up on social media as our authentic self. Okay, so it's really good to identify what are the things that we love, what's our passion. One of the things that Fraser Brooks always says is make our Facebook profile. I am going to talk a lot more on Facebook than Instagram, because Facebook as a platform, ultimately, even now, still is hands over Instagram in terms of value information. Okay, it's the only social media network at the moment that we can give massive value. So this is why I'm kind of honing in onto Facebook with that. So with that understanding of who your target market is, it becomes a very important thing that you just show up as your 100% who you are. There's too many times I feel that sometimes on Facebook that we kind of fake it. And that's something we've got to be very, very aware of. If you do not love green smoothies, don't post that you love them when you absolutely can't stand them, okay? That's not being authentic to you. That's attracting a market that you just, want to attract, but it's not being authentic to you. So go and find things that you love and you enjoy doing. And I know Luce is always a good example at that, because she doesn't like green smoothies. And she said, you'll never see me post a green smoothie on social media because I can't stand them. So, but what she does, she's very real and raw of what she does love. So make sure that that is you. What are you showing up on? Now, with your interests, you might have 15 written down, but it's very important to pick 1 to 3. There's a theme that needs to happen in your social media, and if you are all over the place and do too much, people might start to think, oh, are you just trying to fit into this, that, and the other? It's really important that you pick 1 to 3 and are consistent with those few passions. So, one of the things that sticks out is, like, if you are, you love catching up with coffee with friends on a regular basis, that might be a theme that you do once a week, that you're going to have, these coffee catch-ups and things like that. Okay, so number 1 is that foundation, making sure you know exactly the market you're talking to on Facebook. Number 2 is your profile picture. Guys, if you just hopped on, just make sure you are on mute. Okay, awesome. Okay, so number 2 is your profile picture. Now, what that is your little thumbnail, basically, okay? So the thing that basically shows up in people's feeds when you're commenting and things like that. Now, profile picture, and this is one thing I want to say as well before we go into that. With your social media, you want to treat it as your billboard, okay? This is your shop front window. Now, some of you, when you come into this, you might feel a bit uncomfortable with that. Some of you might go, oh, but my Facebooks is all very private. It's people that I've only known, and I'm, you know, very worried about posting things of family, blah, 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 blah. And that's fine to have those reservations. But please remember that this is an online business. So if you need to actually have a different profile that's just for your friends and family that are close, and that's how you're just going to post for particular things, do that. But please know that this is your business. Okay, this is your business, and if you want to actually connect with people on social media as a business, this is going to be the best thing you can do, is to clean this up and make sure it looks good. So the next thing is your profile picture. Now, if you have a look at your own profile picture, I don't know if you've got your phone, you can bring it out. The first point is it needs to be just you. Okay, it needs to be just you, and the reason why it needs to be just you is because, again, people are connecting with you. Yes, you might love it, beautiful picture with your husband and things like that, and which is lovely, but use your timeline for stuff like that, because at the end of the day, what we have to remember is it comes up in a very small thumbnail. So when you are actually having conversations with people or connecting with people, people want to recognize that that's you. So if there's like two people in a picture, they might start to go, oh, well, who's this person? Who are they? Because there's a couple of people in there. Okay. The other thing that you want to do with your profile picture is have it as close headshot as possible. Now, I've kind of looked through a few people, and the reason why Eric stresses about this is because, again, when it's too far away, you're coming up very small in someone's comments, in someone's conversations and things like that. So the closer in you are, people are like, oh yeah, I know that's Hannah. That's her beautiful face right there. It's gorgeous. Okay. So I'm just seeing you, Hannah, because you're right in front of me right there. But, you know, that is something to connect. People want to connect with you. So making sure that that's a nice picture of you. Make sure the colouring as well. Some people's colouring is very dark. So you want to have a good contrast in your profile picture. So whether if you've got some dark clothes on, having a light white background, having good lighting is super important. I was looking at some profile pics as we did a bit of an exercise with that. Some are so dark that when you come up on a profile in your thumbnail, you can't actually see who that person is at all. So profile pic needs to be clear, nice headshot of you. It doesn't have to be super professional. Like there's so many nice photos and selfies. Take a whole heap though. Take a whole heap, and that makes you look, you know, presentable. No sunglasses, make sure you can see your face, and ideally looking straight at the camera. Okay, so not too much on the side or anything like that, but quite front on, and smile. Okay, that's another thing that I notice. A lot of people don't smile in their profile picture. So really important that you put a beautiful smile in there. Okay. Oh, and the other thing is don't change it too often. Okay, keep your profile picture quite consistent in that because again, people, if you change it too often, they're like, who is this person that keeps popping up? I don't recognize them. Okay, so keep it quite consistent and the same. Okay, number 2. Number 3 is your cover photo. So this is the big one. This is the big one behind your profile picture. Now, please remember, when I'm actually going to pull people's ones up, the one that we're sharing, it does look different on your mobile phone to your desktop. So it is important to understand that if you actually put a cover photo through your desktop, always double check it on your mobile, because there is a few people that might have things cut off or it doesn't quite look right on their mobile. And I'll tell you what, most people are using a mobile. So make sure again that it looks nice in the mobile setting. Okay. Now the cover photo, Fraser actually said, this is one of your biggest opportunities. Now, the reason why is because he looks at it as a billboard. This is your billboard and that's your profile there. This is your opportunity to actually show people who you are, okay? So if you're an empowering woman, you know, you might want to put something that's really inspiring, that showcases you as a brand. Now, he's very big on not just having something pretty, not just having a lake, not just having something that's quite bland, because again, it's an opportunity for a statement. It's an opportunity to showcase a brand that you are. Now, it might be you can do a family photo here if you want to, but it's got to look super good. Okay, Linda Evenden, if you look on hers, she's got a beautiful one. So she's actually a good one. I'm not going to bring her up now, but you can have a quick look. She's got the perfect kind of look on, great profile picture of like just her face headshot. You know exactly that that's Linda, and a beautiful expanding picture of her and her family walking on the beach. Now that brand for her showcases empowering women, and a family orientated lifestyle that she has. So it looks beautiful. So it is important. You can use this opportunity to showcase you. Now, Fraser talks about using 1 to 3 different things that does showcase you. So you could, if you were like girl power kind of thing, maybe have something written that's girl power on there. Something that will identify you. So when you look up, you're literally looking, that is, you know, Hannah, girl power, something or the other, beautiful, inspiring. That is exactly, I know exactly who she is and what she's about. Okay? One of the things what you don't want to do is have any sort of products in your cover photo. Okay, and again in your profile as well. I don't think you would in your profile photo, but I have seen background images of products, even if it's just showing the capsules. I would not even do that. Okay, again, people buy into you. People don't want to see anything to do with products in your cover photo. Okay, use the space effectively is basically what he says. So that's number 3. Number 4. Okay, is about me section. Okay, so this one is actually the most important. Okay, the most important in your profile. Why it is because in a second, someone can absolutely identify who you are and connect with you just from that one liner underneath your profile, that about me section. Okay, that's your bio. One of the things, and we'll go through an example here, about you on the side, on the left-hand side, you want to make sure that you don't have too many things about you. So you don't want to have every single school you went to, every single workplace you went to, all of that. People don't need to know all of that. Okay, have a couple of things. You might say, you know, where you used to work, but make sure it actually states there where you live. Okay, again, when people connect with you, they want to know where you're from. So it's really important just to put from Perth, Australia, or from New Zealand or wherever. So having that come up, you should have about 4 or 5 lines there, no more, in that little about me section. Okay, now that bio. So there you can have, I think it's 100 characters just underneath your profile picture. That is your bio. Now, as Fraser said, it is one of the most important because that at a glance showcases who you are. Now, one of the things he says is you don't want to use it to impress people, okay? So what that means is you actually don't want to use it as I am the CEO of your brand, or I am the founder of your brand, or I am an ambassador, okay? Reason why, and I know that a lot of you do have that, and that's why it was interesting because even I had it when I looked at this training, and I had to look at my profile like, oh, I have that, is because it's showing that it's trying to impress, like what he says, it's trying to impress, but people don't know what that is. So if you're a brand ambassador for Boss Body Program, people are like, well, what's the Boss Body Program? Yes, it shows curiosity, but people that don't want to know on your bio what that is. In your actual about me, you can actually write CEO and founder of Female Boss Co, and it comes up straight there anyway, but it showcases it in another spot. in that little bio, what you actually want to do is you want to have something like on a mission to, helping people to. So the best one he basically said is on a mission to empower women to be their best selves, or something like that. That represents you. Okay, important to have a look at that and change it. Don't put too many things, but something even, Eric, I saw a little training with him today, even something quirky, like make it a bit fun. Like if you're a wine addict or whatever, put something a bit fun about you as well. So you could put on a mission to whatever, and then underneath you could put, you know, coffee lover or whatever, something fun about you. So that again showcases your unique self, but how you're going to help people. Because at the end of the day, people want to connect. They want to look at your profile and go, oh, she's here she's on a mission. She's here to help people. Cool. Okay. What is she about? So straight away they connect. Whereas if you're just using your branding, people don't tend to connect straight away. Okay. So turn your mission into a movement. He wrote that down here again because people love mission-driven people. People just don't like to see you're a founder of something that they don't know. So again, really important to go, you know, I'm on a mission to make a movement of people, and that's your way of engaging someone into what you're doing. Okay, so that's number 4. Number 5. Okay, clean timeline. All right, this is a really good activity to do. Okay, so being consistent is key. Okay, being consistent is key on your social media. One of the things that you want to make sure of is that depends. Some people say you need to post more than once a day, up to 3 times a day if you want to. He basically says is what you want to do is to make sure that you're posting once a day, but you are also showcasing your highlight of the day. Okay, so stories is there to use of things that are happening in your day-to-day stuff. You know, might be going to the gym in the morning, might do a selfie there, you might be making a smoothie. Those are all your journey throughout the day, and that's what stories is used for. So utilize stories for all your movements and what you're doing to interact with your audience. On your timeline, you actually just want to post the biggest thing that happened on that day, or there's something that really highlighted you and that you're going to show some value and impact to someone. Okay. This is an opportunity, that the one post you do a day, this is your opportunity to speak to your audience. So that again comes down to your first initial target market, all the things that you've done today, your highlights, blah, 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 blah. You want to actually create a post, create content that you're going to talk directly to your audience, to the person that you are talking to, your mission. This becomes the power of likability. Okay, people want to like you. So being consistent every day and posting something becomes really important. Now, what you want to do is scroll your last 20 posts. Okay, you want to scroll your last 20 posts, because I can tell you now, if someone connects with you, they're going to do a scroll and they're going to look at the last, 15 to 20 posts that you made. Now, if your posts are things like sharing a lot of memes, sharing, videos, and you actually are not creating content and things that people are going to be attracted to, they're not going to look at your Facebook and think, I want to be part of what she's doing. I want to be part of that movement. Okay. So really important for you to go back, and I actually did it the other day, because when I looked, I was like, oh my gosh, I've been tagged in a million things, and I removed all my tags, so now that it looks nice and clean, and there's not too much of things going on. The other thing that you want to do is make sure there's a little button on your timeline settings that you don't want to be tagged in everything. Okay, so again, turn that off and get permission to be tagged in something. If you want to be tagged, that's fine, but just make sure there's not 10 different things of the same thing, right, that you're being tagged in. So definitely look at the consistency of your story on your timeline. Okay, really, really important. Okay, number 6 is your 3 types of posts. Okay, so number 1 is text only. Okay, so basically, Fraser, what he's saying is there's 3 different types of posts that get the best traction, okay? Is my internet gone a bit funny? Can you hear me okay?
Just froze, babe, on number 6.
Okay. Number 6, okay. So number 6, Fraser basically says there's 3 different types of posts that you can post consistently on social media, okay? The first one is text only. Now, this has really been interesting because I actually did a little experiment on this and I was quite interested to see the interaction. So basically what he said is people like to see just that bold writing that can come up on your timeline. So making sure that it's not too wordy. So if you're going to do a text only, this is like no photos, just a text only post, that it's something that is inspiring or a quote or something that has meant something to you, but try and keep it super short that it stays in the bold. So I did a post. I'm going to bring it back because he gave me this, and okay, I'll give you this post to write down because it was good interaction and you can use it. The only thing I would say is don't all post it at the same time tonight when we get off here. So maybe sporadically post over the next few days because, yeah, otherwise we'll all be looking quite silly if we all post the same thing. So I wrote here, if you see this post right now, I want you to know I appreciate you in my life. Okay, simple, just that, and it was the big words, it didn't go into small. So if you see this post right now, I want you to know I appreciate you in my life. Now I got 91 likes and loves on that. I got 11 comments, not huge, but the interaction was real. I had people like that I haven't come up in my liking for ages. So it's just a really nice thing to put out there. So finding things that is good content like that will really showcase and get some engagement happening. Okay, the second thing is to photos with a story. So again, this is part of documenting your life, okay? So as I said, your highlight reel is basically on your Facebook timeline. But you want to tell a story, okay? So telling a story with a photo. Now, I think often what I find is people are posting without thinking about the content. The content is so important. People want to know a story. People want to know a bit about your life, okay? So, you know, Fraser actually said, this is a good example, right? So, for example, if he went out and bought a red Ferrari, you know, and that was like his thing that he's been wanting for ages, and he does a beautiful post of him sitting in his red Ferrari and going, I'm so excited to pick up, I've been waiting for this Ferrari, it's so amazing, this is my beautiful blah, 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 and he posts about his Ferrari. Now, most people think, oh, look at you, you've got lots of money, you know, well done, blah, blah, blah. But if he posted the picture of him in his red Ferrari and then he went back and told the story of when he was a little boy and the biggest dream he had in life was to own his red Ferrari, and throughout his life and showcase different stories around that this was his biggest dream and that he's worked so hard to get to where he has, that's telling a story. Okay, so there's 2 different ways that you can post on social media. One is from a way that's going to connect with people and comes often from starting with pain and then being able to turn that around. So remember that content on your timeline is so important. Don't post random stuff. Really think about what you're doing, what you're posting on social media. Okay, and number 3 is Facebook Live. Okay, I'm running over. I just want to get everyone's permission here. I am running over time. This is probably going to take another 15 minutes. Is everyone cool with that? If you have to go, that's fine, but I just don't want to have to rush because I know I've got a few more points to go, and I had a feeling I wouldn't be able to do this in half an hour. Okay, so cool. If you need a drink, you can take a drink now. Okay, so Facebook Live is another way of posting that creates a lot of value. Okay, so basically what you want to do is, look, I'm the first one to put my hand up to say that I'm not a lover of Facebook Lives, but this is one thing that I can tell you now gets so much interaction. if you're able to actually get onto a Facebook Live once a week or once a fortnight, you're going to find that your engagement goes up, okay? One of the things that, again, is think of topics that people you can add value to their lives. So something that people are going to be interested in, not necessarily about just something that, you know, you happened in your day and blah, 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 blah. Give value. Make sure that it's something that you've thought through and you're like, you know what, I can offer some value there. So that's Facebook Live. He also says purpose beats perfection. Okay? So when you are mission driven, when you are on purpose and you're passionate, doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, as long as it comes from that heart space, you know, you don't need to have all your makeup done and your hair perfect. Okay. Number 7 is social media rush hour. Okay, so what does that mean? Social media rush hour. When you are on Facebook, you will notice that there will be a chat that will say chat at the bottom, and it will actually show all the people, all the friends that you have on that are active at that point in time. Okay, so you might see, you know, at 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, that has about 80, 90, 100 people active on your chat. So what that means is that those are the people that are watching on social media at that point in time. Now, what he actually suggests to do is make a note of that when you go onto your social media, because that actually shows you when is most active on your Facebook. So if you're in the morning, if you like to go in the morning, just make a note of how many people are on the chat, afternoon, evening, whenever you're on, just have a look. Then you want to gauge when is people on the most. So what's it, because this is what Fraser said, everyone's going to be different. So that's why it's very difficult to say, okay, post at this time at lunchtime because everyone will be on at lunchtime. Not for mums, right? Mums are, you know, lunchtime doesn't really matter. Might be after school drop off. So it's going to be different for everyone, but make note of that. What you want to do though is once you figure out what your rush hour on social media is, you want to post about 20 minutes before your rush hour. Okay? So when you want to post on your good thought post that you're going to put out for the day, is actually post just before then, because what you're going to find is, again, the algorithms, people are going to see it mostly before when they come on that rush hour time. So just make note of that. And the last one, number 8, is test and measure. Okay, so this one's really just a quick one. This is something that if you want to, I know there's some people that are a little bit more want to really figure out about their social media. Some doesn't matter too much, but basically what he suggested is having a bit of a spreadsheet and figuring out what posts actually work for you. Because there's actually so many of us that don't really know what interaction we get is the best. So what he basically says is actually start documenting, testing a few things. So for instance, for me, like I did a text-only post and I got over 90 likes and I got 11 comments. So that was a good post for me. Whereas I might have done one of my family and that might have got 50. I might have done a selfie and I might have got 10. So it shows me that what my audience like. And again, that becomes really important when you're putting yourself out on social media. You want to put engaging content so that people then will be able to interact and see your stuff. So you can actually do that on your social media and have a little spreadsheet. And, you know, you don't have to do it every day, but just make note, basically, of what it is. Okay, so I'm going to quickly share this screen. I'm just going to take a few minutes and just doing a couple of run-throughs of, hang on a second, let me just bring it up. Okay, so, sorry. Okay, so this shows you what I've just talked about. So this is mine. Again, if you can see the intro here, I've changed mine to On a Mission to Empower Women to Unleash Their Inner Boss. They can see I'm a CEO and founder of Female Boss Co. Profile picture's pretty clear. And, you know, I can probably do better on my cover photo, but use things like Canva as well. That was the other thing I was going to say. Canva is a great way to actually get a really nice cover photo. But if you look at it, they'll know I'm girly, I want to inspire people, that kind of thing. So that kind of showcases the brand a little bit. The other thing I quickly wanted to show you is this part over here, which is your highlights of your photos. Now, this is a great opportunity to showcase a snapshot of who you are. Okay, so I like to go to the beach, a bit of me walking the beach, shows a female boss co, you know, who I work with, that type of thing, a quote. So those images here are part of what people see about you straight away. Comes really important so that people see who you are. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of, I just want to kind of show you that part there. I'm just going to bring up Salwa. Salwa has said that I could have a look at hers. So Salwa, this is just going on what we basically talked about. So as you can see, beautiful photo of you on your profile, gorgeous. But again, something closer would be better, just to recognize who you are as a person. So there's one down below. I'd probably do something similar to that, maybe with a nice smile there. And that will become, because if you look at your thumbnail down here, you can't, you're just like a person standing there. Like, it doesn't really show me who you are. Again, cover photo, if you can see here, it gives you so much opportunity. There's a blank spot just here to be able to showcase your brand and who you are. Another one that is missing here is actually your bio. So when I had a look at yours, there is nothing written in the bio. So this is something, again, on a mission too, and you can put something there as well. Again, photos here look great. I love that it's you, your partner, a beautiful heart there, look like empowering, and some kids' photos. Beautiful, that's fine. Scrolling down, it doesn't really show, it's not a picture, it's not a shopping window of who you are. So there's some things about 60-day challenge, fantastic, family, which is good. This type of stuff is okay, but it doesn't get much interest on the algorithms of Facebook. One thing that Fraser said, any photos that has a lot of text in it actually does no good on Facebook. Okay, a lot of text on photos, especially if you have a link. Okay, that's a big no-no. So if you are actually putting a link to your website on your posts, that actually, Facebook actually don't like it at all and won't show your posts up in people's news feeds. So again, really important. Now, something like this, you know, so this is a good one to showcase. Again, lots of writing, great information, but I would have loved maybe to see a picture of your kids eating the chews. Okay, so if you had the kids eating the chews or a smoothie, that's a bit more engaging to showcase your lifestyle around taking the product. People don't want to get told what to do. They want to see it. They want to actually see how it works. So again, this is a great one to send privately to someone. So if someone actually commented on this and said, oh, what is that? What are those chews that the kids are eating? You can send them this. This is what's in them. Private message them. Okay? So that's just a few tweaks there, Salwa. Please take the feedback in a positive light. Again, I'm not here to criticize. I just want to showcase what we basically talked about and the few tweaks that can really help make it look really good. Clarissa, I'll bring yours up as well. This will be the last one. Just to show a few little tweaks here. Okay. So Clarissa's from the UK, so I can see that straight away. Pretty good photo, like in terms of the lighting, I can see your face. That kind of, how close that is brilliant. A couple of things there was probably make it a little bit clearer and maybe a smile, something like that. Just, but that one's pretty good because I can see you pop up in the thumbnails quite good. Cover photo, I suppose it doesn't tell me too much about you as a brand, as a person, but I can see that you've obviously done it for what's happened in New Zealand, which is totally understandable. And you know what? There is times when if you want to showcase your belief on there and support on certain things, go for it. The only thing I would say is I wouldn't have it there too long. okay, because people will start connecting with you and want to know who you're about. Show support 100%, but maybe try and do it more in the timeline. Okay, so if you want to do something sharing in the timeline, show your support, and therefore it's not going to be the first thing people see in your profile. Again, intro here, mum of 2 girls, 13 and 14. Great. Again, it doesn't tell me much about what your passion is. What are you about? What are your mum of 2? You know, and that can be another thing that you can just put on a mission too, and put something that's your passion, your interest about you. Again, you can use these photos here on the side to really showcase a little bit about you, maybe more of your kids, being a mum, something that you're passionate about. I can see here, journey with health and fibro, so maybe something around there. Happy birthday. Is it? I just saw your birthday stuff. Is that your birthday today? So again, just tidying up little things here. Sharing things is okay, but you don't want to do it too often. Okay, the other thing I noticed as well with Clarissa is you post a lot during the day. So there's quite a lot of posting during the day, again, which is fine, but use your stories for that. So utilize your stories more for the consistency during the day, and try and come up with some good content that's going to get people. There's 3 things. Jess Fuller said it beautifully. Think about the impact that you want to give on your people, your target market. What impact can you give them? What inspiration can you give them? Giving them a quote, something that's inspiring to you as a mum and your mission. And number 3 is influence. Because once you kind of do that, you can do a post that's going to have some influence on them. So you want to give them stuff that is going to impact them, inspire them, and then when you do a post that you can share about what you do and how you help people, that gives you you're in a light of influence. So again, really, really important. So I've just showcased a little bit more of this being your shop front window of who you are as a person. Okay, cool. So I know I've run, okay, oh, not too bad, 15 minutes over. Okay, so hope that helped. I'll just see if there's any questions for those who've lost or trying to find. Can you touch base? Okay, lost and find your passion. Okay, so Tiff, yeah, look, this is something that is important to know. Like, what is your passion? What are the things that you love doing? What lights you up every day? I'd really speak to your sponsor or reach out and sit down and do a bit of a brain session on this, because it is important that you know what you love to do. No Snapchat filters. Yes, Hannah, I agree. There needs to be a beautiful picture of you. Where do you see how many people are on the internet? Funny. Oh, okay. So where I said about the how many people are active, it will say it in your chat down the bottom. So I'll see if I can quickly bring it up here. So can you see right now at the bottom here, it says 374 down the bottom. That means I've got 374 people that I know that are active right now on my Facebook. So just monitor that number, and that will give you an idea of your social media rush hour of when to post just before your numbers go up. All right, all done. I'm going to stop the recording.